Hello, Eon here. Today's rant is on Nickelodeon and Nicktoons Network. Why I'm putting these two together is because really, overall, I don't really have many problems with Nickelodeon or Nicktoons Network, and this is probably going to be one of the few rants you see for this particular channel. But I do have enough issues with it that I feel like I wanted to make a rant on it. And beginning with that, I'm going to start with Nicktoons Network. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this channel. It's pretty much the channel the TVs turn to all the time over at my house anymore, but I still have a couple of problems with it. Number one, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, before you start going all apeshit on me, I like this cartoon. And I absolutely hate the fact that M. Night Shyamalan screwed it up so royally with his movie, but that's... Heck, I'm not going to make a video on that. That's been done to death. But still, this show and Dragon Ball Z Kai, those are the two that they rerun the most on Nicktoons Network. Dragon Ball Z Kai, I absolutely love the fact that Dragon Ball Z is back, and I love watching it on Nicktoons, but, well, they don't need to rerun these shows as much as they do. It seems like these two are the most rerun on the channel. That's what drives me nuts. Just cut back on some of the times you're rerunning it. I don't care how highly rated these shows are. They don't need to be as rerun as much as they are. They shouldn't be put up on a pedestal above all the other flippin' Nicktoons, because Nicktoons are Nicktoons. They all deserve equal credit. They all deserve equal airtime. I mean, really. Number two. Don't show SpongeBob on Nicktoons Network. I know this is a very rare occasion. It rarely happens, but the fact that it does, SpongeBob just shouldn't be on Nicktoons Network at all. It's not that I dislike SpongeBob. I love SpongeBob, but they already rerun this enough on the main channel, and it's still going strong, so why does it need to be on Nicktoons Network? The correct answer is, in my book, it doesn't. I mean, Nicktoons Network is supposed to be housing old cartoons that got canceled. So SpongeBob, until it gets canceled, being on Nicktoons Network, that's just no. No. My fourth beef with the Nicktoons Network, showing modern cartoons on the channel. In other words, bringing back the SpongeBob thing. They also show Tough Puppy on this channel. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Tough Puppy, but if they're going to show it on Nicktoons Network, it's not going to get the kind of audience and ratings that Nickelodeon could use to really bump it up. I mean, it's one of their newest cartoons, so they should be rerunning the hell out of this on the main channel. They should kick aside some of those SpongeBob reruns and put Tough Puppy there. I mean, not everybody has access to Nicktoons Network, so if they want to get the most advertising they can out of this show, then they need to put it on the main channel. They need to rerun it on the main channel. Now, there is a lot I like about Nicktoons Network, and I think I'm going to discuss that too. I love the fact that they're rerunning Invader Zim so much on this channel. I absolutely love that they have like hour-long blocks or so showing reruns of the show. I know how big the fan base is. Heck, watching it on Nicktoons Network was what personally made me a fan of this show. On the record of that, I gotta give Nicktoons a big thumbs up there. Dragon Ball Z Kai, yeah, that's something I like about it too. I also like the fact that they rerun several of the older cartoons. I'd like to see some more of Danny Phantom rerun. I'd like to see like the 90s cartoons and slots you could actually be watching. But other than that, they've really got a good thing going on there. I'd honestly go as far as saying Nicktoons Network really knows how to appeal to cartoon fans. I've always wanted a channel that shows 24/7 cartoons, and Nicktoons Network is as close as I'm going to get right now. That's why I love it. That is why I flippin' love that channel. So that's why I don't really want to bash it too much. But seriously, yeah, it'd be nice to see Cat Dog and Ren and Stimpy or something like that on at a time that everybody could see it. I mean, even though Ren and Stimpy got a bit controversial after a while, I mean, look at the fact that Zim's on there. Invader Zim gets some decent airtime, so I don't see why Ren and Stimpy couldn't get some decent airtime too. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Yeah, and rerun some more Danny Phantom at times when people would actually be watching too. It'd be nice to see like maybe once every week or two or whatever to see a hour and a half long block of Danny Phantom come on the air. That'd be really nice. I mean, they got that going for Zim. Yeah, I know I keep bringing up Invader Zim, but well, the fact that they have Invader Zim out there, that's kind of making me think they should have some more of the older cartoons and active rerunning blocks as well. For the record, I am going to make a separate video on the topic of Invader Zim and the possibility that it might come back, but for now, today's video is sticking to the topic of Nickelodeon and Nicktoons Network. I know I'm already 6 minutes in, but now I'm going to move to Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon, well, the biggest complaint I have about Nickelodeon, the only two shows they rerun really are SpongeBob and iCarly. I'm probably not the only one who's pointed this out, but come on! There are more than just those two shows. I mean, scrape out some of the SpongeBob reruns, and once again I bring this up, put some of your more modern cartoons in there. I mean, put in some reruns of Penguins of Madagascar where some of the SpongeBob reruns are. Put in some Fairly Odd Parents. Yeah, I consider Fairly Odd Parents still a running show. And just put in some of your put in more reruns of the shows that are still active and running on the channel. And then the iCarly reruns, scrape some of those out. And as much as it kills me to say this, put other teen live-action shows in the rerun spots too. I mean, actually, I'd say Big Time Rush is pretty well advertised, but I guess you could throw that in there. And I'm really not familiar with all their teen live-action shows, but yeah, they could shake it up by adding more than just reruns of iCarly. They could put more than just that for their live-action stuff. On the topic of Nickelodeon's live-action, for the record, I used to like iCarly, but, well, it's really gone downhill. And on the note of their newest episode, they're practically butchering Sam's character in that. I swear. Ugh. Why do they have to have her have a romantic conclusion about Freddy now? I mean, they could have done this earlier in the series, gotten out of the way, and then just... Couldn't they have taken a humorous approach to this instead of serious and angsty and dramatic? It's just, seeing Sam's character like this, it kills me. She's one of the only characters on that show that I actually liked. I don't like Carly and Freddy. I do like Spencer and Gibby. Sam, Spencer, Gibby, those were the three characters that really made this show entertaining in my opinion. The rest of it, just, mindless bull crap. Well, that's just my opinion anyway. But, seriously, to me, iCarly started dying after they put Fred, the quote-unquote internet sensation, on one of the episodes. I mean, that episode was flippin' terrible. I didn't even see it all the way through. I saw maybe the part where Fred made an appearance and he had everybody pulling his random-ass, whiny voice bullshit. And that was just annoying. Annoying as hell. Ugh. The Fred episode, they could have done so much better than that. All of the other people they've had come on iCarly, those weren't as annoying. Those weren't as annoying. But that one, that was just irritating. And why does every iCarly episode have to be a special? Not every one of the episodes has to be a special. yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say venting about iCarly. I'm not going to make an entirely separate video about that. It's staying in this one because I consider it one of my biggest problems with Nickelodeon. Big Time Rush. Nickelodeon, did you really have to make a stab at making a duplicate of the Jonas Brothers from Disney Channel? I mean, really, that's all they are. I'd have to say, looking at it from a business person's perspective, pretty smart move on Nickelodeon's part, but still, when you look at these guys, they're pretty much taking the Jonas Brothers' place. Bieber crushed the Jonas Brothers, so yeah, you have Big Time Rush now. 4 guys in a boy band. I hate to admit, but I find some of their music kind of catchy, but it's still the same auto-tuned bullshit. If you really gotta look at it from a third-person perspective, they're as talentless as the Jonas Brothers. And the fact that they started out with both a recording contract and a show, yeah. I haven't really seen their show, so I can't really make much commentary about that, but I honestly don't watch it. But their music, yeah, I'm sick of the auto-tune bullshit. I mean, one of the few songs, I honestly can't rip their music apart here because, well, I actually find it kind of catchy. I still think Nickelodeon shouldn't have this kind of thing. I mean, Disney Channel already pulled this. I'm kind of surprised that Big Time Rush is doing as well as it is with Justin Bieber around. Justin Bieber, topic for a completely different video if I ever actually make it. I did have a Justin Bieber video up, but I took that down. Discussion for some other video, I guess so. But, yeah, I guess I don't really have as big a problem with Big Time Rush as I do iCarly. I just ignore that Big Time Rush is actually on the channel, really. Yeah. Nickelodeon as a whole, I'd have to say they are kicking Cartoon Network and Disney Channel's asses. Why I say this is because they got cartoons and they got live action. In other words, they got something for everybody. They're pulling off what Disney and Cartoon Network are failing to do. Cartoon Network, you already know my stance on that, but Disney, on the other hand, follow Nickelodeon's example. Would that be so hard? Make a 50-50 cartoon live-action split. I mean, would that be so difficult? Nickelodeon can pull it off, even if it is just reruns of SpongeBob and iCarly. They're pulling it off with that. Yeah, I'm going to make a completely separate rant about Disney. But Nickelodeon, yeah, I pretty much said all I really wanted to say about that. This is Eon, signing off. Bye.